Good morning. I hope you're doing great. This is another podcast or podcastage. Can we consider that podcast? I'm not sure. But this is something that I'm trying to do on a regular basis, not on a daily basis, because it's so excruciating to go over the editing and videoing under this scorching summer heat, especially in not good acoustically treated room. But what I want to say is to say hi to you and ask you to tell me about your day, whether written or maybe send me voice messages through WhatsApp. My number is enlisted in the page on Facebook and YouTube channel. This podcastage is to help you listen to a non-native English speaker speaks English. I want to tell you something that interesting happened to me today when I was in Baghdad. I met my British friend. He is an English teacher, used to be an English teacher, an archaeologist, and now is working in one of the companies in Baghdad. And during our discussion, I asked him if he can comment on a few pressing things that I often get messages about on my page on Facebook and on my channel on YouTube, and that is the variation between American English and British English. It's quite funny. So he commented on that on the video here. I'll just tag it along so you can watch it. I recommend you listen to a native speaker's idea about the concept of dialect, accents, and whether British English is better than American English, or one of them is superior to another, or one of them has a kind of queen privilege over the other. So this is kind of controversial topic actually, and we often get in a tug of war discussing it, especially with people who consider themselves as prescriptivists of language, who prescribe what you have to say in what occasion and within one context, and determine the kind of language that you have to state. But actually, language is very organic element in society. It's a living being in society. It's used by people in society. It's communicated in society between two people and among people. It's a language that is used by homeless people and homeowners and rich and poor. And the difference that we talk about is just purely tonal. It has to do with the tone of saying like something in a certain tone to refer to geographical cultural aspects. And it does not refer to any kind of superiority of one accent or dialect over the other.
Okay, can I just have this one?
Sorry, I can't see what you're pointing at.
Oh, it's just the bottle of water.
Huh?
The bottled water.
What?
Bottled water.
Is that a drink? I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It's the first thing on the menu.
I'm sorry, are you speaking English? Can one of your teammates translate? I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, he just wants the bottled water.
Oh, water! Why didn't you say the T's, man? Whoa-ah! Whoa-ah! Okay, I got you, man.
And to be honest, if you listen carefully to those people who talk about accents and dialects, they often get them confused because they don't know exactly the difference, the class difference, the distribution and variation of accents and dialects within the United States and within UK. And when we talk about UK, it's quite funny because in UK there's the Manchester accent and dialect, and there is the Londonese accent and dialects, and there's this group of people that we call them Hispanic people in Texas and the United States, that they talk with a certain accent. So does that mean that one of these accents or dialects better than the other? No, it's just a geographic and cultural variation. So please do not be very excessive when it comes to your judgment of people based on their way of speaking, or whether they say often or often. They are both enlisted in dictionary as two acceptable, with one of them is more frequent than the other, and it's just personal preference. And I've been told by native speakers that they wouldn't question where you're from based on the way you say often, or you spell out the word center in a British or American style. So just be open-minded and tolerant to any ambiguity you see in language. Try to always be curious. Work like a freak to learn English. Practice English like a freak. You got to push yourself hard to be able to reach that satisfactory level. It's not going to come easy. Language is not a piece of cake. No matter how much we try to let you understand it, that it's easy, but in fact, to be honest, you're gonna be serious when you're training. Language is not that quite easy to be captured by non-native speakers and then just thinking that I'm gonna wake up tomorrow just because I memorized this list of 100 vocabulary that I will be able to produce a common English speaking. No, that's not gonna be possible. You're gonna push yourself hard, engage with people you don't know, understand about culture, learn to embrace culture, love culture, and read about culture. Read about movies or Hollywood or cinema or London City or Metro or Subway or the Tube in London. All of these are going to add up collectively to your ability to progress steadily in language. That's not going to be easy. So that is part of the discussion that I had this morning with my fellow British teacher. Don't be judgmental. You're speaking English as a non-native English speaker. So no matter how much you try hard, you're going to be equivalent to native speaker because it's an acquisition process. It's not learning process. What we've gone through is learning process. So we can be professional in language learning, but it's really hard to capture the DNA of acquisition of a native speaker, just like how much they try hard to master Arabic and speak it fluently, but there is certain accuracy issues and felicity in their language that just draws your attention once you listen to them or listen to the tone of the way they say things. If you listen to the British ambassador or the American ambassador or the Canadian ambassador or anybody who speaks Arabic as a non-native language. So just be tolerant. Language beauty comes from the variation of tones, the variation of accents, if everybody speaks with the same fluency. So keep yourself open-minded, be curious, and always try to discover new things. Have a wonderful day.